All right, rule number one of podcasting, just make sure that this audio software is on. Okay, I think it is. All right, so we're good. All right, so we are live. So what is up, guys? This is Mr. T coming at you live from NYC. Welcome back to Convos, our podcast over here at TimTalks. And hey, guys, welcome back to another episode. So, guys, here's the deal. So I heard your comments loud and clear, and I want to honor that by telling you guys now we're doing things over on Zoom. Because Messenger, when things start to get a little bit tricky, with interference and whatnot, and so I apologize for that. And I tried editing out. It sucked. I'll tell you guys right now, it's really hard to edit audio sometimes, especially with the basic software. But hopefully, things go smooth. And we tested out Zoom, and the audio is pretty good. If you guys know, during the pandemic, it was pretty top notch at the time. You can fit 1,000 people in a room. No one wants to do that, but either way, we're gonna go ahead and see how this works out. So, guys, I got my homie over here, Jason. You want to give your greetings, man?
Ray, what's up? Hey, what's up, New York? We are live from Psych, man.
Nice, man. No, it's all good. It's all good. And so, hopefully that sounds better, right, guys? Here's the gist as well. So you guys sent up a lot, and I mean like a ton of comments about, this one thing and one thing only, and that's gaming, all right? I was planning also to bring the other homies online, but it seems like they're also preoccupied with their schedule, so maybe they'll start trickling in one by one, and I'll probably have to edit them in. They'll have to make my job harder, but anyway, I'm just joking. But either way, so yeah, back to what I was saying about gaming. So here's the gist. So, like I said, many of you guys have been sending comments about gaming, asking, what kind of games can we recommend? How is it like for us? Are we gamers? And also, how does gaming help with, the stress? And, here's the thing. We actually talked about that earlier, personally, the homies and I, and, I was thinking as well, with gaming, we did play a lot of games, even though it looks like if you take a photo of us, and we're a motley bunch. Like, if you look at us, we're so different. Some tall, some short. I'm like the shortest of the bunch. And it's just so weird because we actually had that common interest. And it's not only that, but also because it's actually a fun thing, to do. So, hey, my man, I want to ask you something real quick. Don't mind?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, cool. So, what's your experience with gaming?
Well, first off, I would say, I do like gaming. I wouldn't say I'm an avid gamer myself, but when the does strike me, I would play. I guess my introduction to gaming began when my dad introduced me to Medal of Honor Allied Assault. That was like the first ever game that I've ever played, and it still sticks with me. Yeah, for me, most of the games I like mostly are like, I guess like first-person shooters, those kinds of things, because those are the kinds of games that I was introduced to first. So I've always had an affinity with that. I've played like a few, I guess, RPGs, but for me, I'm more of the FPS kind of person. One kind of genre I do like, I wouldn't necessarily call it a video game, but it's kind of related to a game. It's I like to use like the game editor to like build apps and those kinds of things, like for example, Roblox. I know that's like really popular recently. For me, I use Roblox, but I don't necessarily play the game. I just use the editor. That's what I kind of go. But yeah, it's for me. It's like a mix of like FPSs and like editing type of like those kinds of things.
Hey, and guys, I'm not dissing my Roblox lovers out there. It's just, I've seen those compilations where people get into Roblox and then they're messing up with the editor, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And I get it. People make custom maps and whatnot, right? But it's sometimes tempting to mess with all the features, especially when I've seen those things where like they make obstacles and whatever, and it's just funny. But I didn't know you actually got into that. I didn't.
It's for me, like sometimes I like to try to recreate stuff that I have in my mind. Like some for recently I've been working like on some like a citadel or like an imperial palace kind of thing. I've been working on that kind of map.
Ooh.
like studio editor.
Nice.
No, just basically I just have like a mind in my head of what I want, but I visualize it, and that's how I'm able to actually bring it to fruition to Roblox Studio.
No.
Because it allows me to actually use different materials and those kinds of things.
Uh-huh.
So,
Oh.
yeah, pretty good.
Nice. And actually, I'm gonna admit as well that I used to love those simulator games where, I think it was, if you guys have seen those Flash games online, I remember I played this game called Battle Gear. It's like 1 and 2. So, if you guys don't know what that is, Battle Gear 1 and 2, those are basically those world domination kind of games. I'm not crazy, but I'm just saying that it's fun to, portray yourself as being a leader of a country or a continent, and you chose that continent, and then from there, from your respective nation, you get to spread out and dominate the world. And it's fun because, like, for example, I every time at the beginning I chose, for example, like the United States to start off and then branch out from there. But then over time, it came to the point where, hey, I want to go for Africa, and I'm gonna see if we can conquer the world, right?
Yeah.
And from there, it was so weird because it was totally possible. And like I said, guys, every nation's got their own strong points and capabilities, and gaming really gives you a perspective on things like, hey, this is how it looks like, and then from there, it's like, hey, what can you have all this potential with gaming. And so, with that being said and done, it's just amazing as well, just what gaming has come to at this point. Not just for the ones who play it, but for the ones who develop it. And they're becoming more and more real. Like yeah. And I want to ask you, my friend, have you ever seen those parents where they're so convinced that what they're seeing is like a film, but it's actually a game?
I mean, yeah, that's my own parents basically. Sometimes you introduce them to things like GTA 5. Sometimes if my mom or my dad or with me, sometimes they'll is this like a movie or is this like a film or something like that? And I have to explain something. Oh, it's actually a game, and it's really funny because whenever I mention that, they always kind of go back to their days when they were gaming. Oh man, gaming these days has come a long way since in the 80s and stuff like that. And no, actually, I didn't mention this before, but there was a period, I think, when I was maybe 13 to about 15 years old, where I was kind of into that those retro 1980s arcade kind of games. Yeah. I just had this obsession with arcade machines and those kinds of stuff. I remember. If you remember the Hollywood theaters, right, the one near Costco.
Yeah.
I love going there. Why? I mean, the movies were good,
but then you wanted the.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Gaming. I don't really just like one kind of gaming. I like many different kinds of gaming, even if it's the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Gaming back then was more simple, but I guess just the aesthetic feel of arcade, those kinds of things.
Exactly, and I get what you mean when. You look to the right end of the theater and then you can go straight down into it and head to your film. Or you can take a swing by over at the machines over there on the left and think, hey, I want to play some Street Fighter. And, I feel as though we grew up with that. We grew up with Street Fighter, F-Zero, Golden Sun. We grew up with a lot of things. And it was just, it's so cool the fact that, our parents do recognize those. Regardless, and we still appreciate the retro to this day, right? And that style. And so, guys, just to sum that up, gaming is really just this versatile and wonderful hobby, and it's this wonderful pastime, this activity you want to get involved in if you feel as though you're stressed out and whatever, right? And it's really just that it brings up a lot of things besides it's not just a film or not just something like a soundtrack, but there's just a lot that's culminated in the game. And that's something, if you really want to find something that you can have fun with and get down with, and something that feels right for you, gaming is really one of those mediums in which you can get around. and it's really fun. Not gonna lie. Like literally, you can recall different kinds of games and different kinds of characters. It's, speaking of characters, my man. In the games that you've played, is there like any notable character you feel like you remember or anything?
I mean, for me, like when I play those games, right? Obviously, it's not exactly RPG games. So you can't really customize your character. So, I mean, for the most part, there are characters that I remember. This one that I'll mention, I'm sure a lot of people know this one. I forget, it was in Modern Warfare 2.
You?
The end of the game. Yes.
Yo, you were thinking of him? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, that one was really just like, wow.
Dude, I was actually like thinking of Modern Warfare. And okay.
Yeah.
I already have my guess, but like, can you tell me who you're talking about? I think I have a feeling who it is.
Honestly, it really escapes me. Let me just try to pull up a quick search.
Is it General Shepard?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah, General Shepard.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was the one. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that Ultimate Betrayal, man. That was just like, wow.
Yeah, and guys, not to get political with Modern Warfare, right? It's a game, of course, right? But it was just so good in terms of the story, right? You got like Captain Price, you got Macintosh, you got as well McTavish. Did I say Macintosh? What the heck? Sorry, Apple.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, McTavish. Sorry. And you also, the villains as well. They're really well developed, and it's not the race that was the problem. It's really just the intention. Like, you have, for example, I love how they portrayed the characters in that game. From all different walks of life, and to see that in the midst of a war that really not everyone is for it, right? You got like the Americans versus the Russians, but then you got some Russians defecting over to the other side, just because of that, right? So you have these insurgents, and you have all these rebels, and you have all these characters. But really, if you guys know the main antagonist of Modern Warfare, it's literally, when you think of it, it's coming down to two. It's either General Shepard from the second one, or Makarov, the main guy who's there throughout it. And it gives you, and like I said, guys, it gives you this perspective on people. And if you think that it can't happen, guess what? It can happen. So if I may ask you, my friend, like, what is it about FPS that really strikes at you? Like, you love it. What do you feel?
I mean, because for me, it's like I'm like I wouldn't say I'm like a avid history buff, but I do like my historical, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like with FPS, right? Especially when it gets to do with like historical wars or like military simulators or simulations, called the Milsims. I get to use a lot of like weapons that that have been used in wars or are currently still being used in wars. Like, for example, in Modern Warfare 4 and 2, because I'm not really avid, but I really love like Soviet and Russian like history and culture and those kinds of things and like technology. Every time, like, I would be in a mission where we have to fight those insurgents, like in Chernobyl or whatever. I kid you not, I would always ditch my service issue weapon, whether it be like an AR platform or an MP5. I would always ditch that, but I would kill a rebel or insurgent first, and I would ditch my weapon and immediately grab the Kalashnikov. That's my go-to weapon, basically. And I played the entire campaign using the Kalashnikov.
Dude, I was thinking, is my man? Did he ditch? I was thinking, like, at that moment, I said, did you ditch the weapon and go for the AK? Because I'm thinking, that's why I'm like thinking I was thinking you would use the weapon against them. The moment you see it, it's iconic, guys. You guys can see literally the black and brown design, literally the barrels, and it's just so iconic. But I had that feeling
it's like, I mean, for a game that's made like it was like what, mid-2000s, the graphics are pretty good, especially when it comes to like the details on the weapons. Like, even if things like in Far Cry, like, if you use weapons long enough, you'll notice like how I guess the wear and tear appears on your weapon. So that's pretty good too as well.
Yeah, I love the attention to detail as well. And I love how now games, because they realize that, hey, this is a platform that is open-minded to like everything, and many
Yes.
companies now are just experimenting with, for example, remasters or remakes,
Yes, yeah, those were.
and it's like it's getting really good, you know, and it gives you that love and appreciation for the past, and when I was, like I said, I anticipated that you were gonna say, hey, I grabbed the AK and started shooting the hell out of everyone with their own weapon. I mean,
I mean,
that's
if you, it's like, I mean, I'm not a gun expert, but for me, if like I just look at the AK track record, like I just naturally gravitate towards that weapon. But I'm sure everyone in FPS has their own preferred weapon or sidearm or whatever they want. For me, I'm always with the AK, bro.
yeah. I remember if it, for example, like if it were like a pistol for me in Modern Warfare, it'd probably be a Desert Eagle. If it was a submachine gun. Don't get me wrong. I remember in GTA, San Andreas, I was always going for the Uzi, the UCI guy. So that's what Uzi means. Just because you get to do this with two guns,
Yeah,
you get to do that, and
gangster, yeah,
then, well, of course, it made your aim go to hell. But like just seeing that, it's like, what the heck? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, in terms of the assault rifles, the AK is the way to go. I mean, you're not falling short of ammo. That's for sure, right?
Because I mean, that's a discussion regarding, like I guess there are each gun or each weapon has some pros and cons. It's just for me, I prefer the AK. I guess of its historical significance.
Yeah,
Even though it was be like in the 40s, it's still being used today.
for real.
So,
Yeah. So guys, just again summarizing like all of that, there's so many genres and subgenres of gaming. You literally can go to things like fantasy, RPG, civilization type of games. You can go to horror games, and that's been trending lately.
Yeah.
And you can find it, and you'll find that the games that you see don't always have to be super dang complicated, and you don't even have to
Yeah.
use, for example, the Unreal Engine or the Raft Engine. You don't always have to resort to those. Sometimes it's just the concept and being simple with things. It's like, and the idea there is that there really is no limitation to gaming. It's literally just that platform where you can go in and expect that you're gonna find something that you like. And it can be something as complicated and as memorable as like The Last of Us, or it could be like Candy Crush. I don't mind, guys. It's really, and I've seen that, and there are those days where, hey, I want to play this kind of game, but there's also like, hey, I want to chill out for just a bit, right? I want to chill out, lay back on the couch, and just chill out on my phone, and hope for the best with that, right? But there's that as well. And hey, my friend, I just want to ask you, how do you think gaming, helps with stress?
Well, I mean, I think it's very simple because if you are interacting or doing something that you like, it really helps. I guess not really vent out that frustration, but it helps you calm down during that. Like, the game is kind of like, I guess, in a sense, I don't know what they call it, the safe space or whatever. It's in that kind of zone, like you're in you're in the world that you created or the world that you fantasize about, doing whatever you want in the game, those kinds of things. And, it just really helps to be, I guess, to calm you down or to de-stress when you're in your zone. Especially when you have like if you're an avid gamer and you have like a setup or like like a man cave or a lair or whatever like that. Like, because I've seen those setups like the expensive ass chair, the multiple screens. Yeah, some people have like a mini fridge with like Red Bull. And, like you have like an expensive nice up headset, especially if you have like a area dedicated to gaming. You can, once you get there, you can actually like get into the zone because everything that's surrounding you has to do with gaming, whether monitors, your equipment, microphone, mouse, keyboard, or even your chair, those kinds of things. And to sum it up, it really depends on how you make up your gaming space because once you're in your gaming space, it kind of envelops you because right now your mind is focused strictly on the game, and the things that surround you help you to focus on that
Exactly.
particular goal, particular object. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And guys, here's the deal. Whether you're an avid gamer or not, right? There's that misconception that when you see like a gamer, you expect a mini fridge filled with Red Bull and Monster, or for example, Razer branded software, glow in the dark software as well, hardware, the keyboard, the mouse, and all those things. But really, just gaming is just something that you can really get down to. And some people really devote their lives to it because they can and they want to, right? They want to game because it's not just like it's a passion, and it's also like a major stress reliever as well. Come home and get to see your software, get to see those neon lights busting out in front of you, and thinking, hey, I want to game today, right? But
Yes.
but there's just some days, like for example, my experience with gaming was like, I remember coming home from middle school, and then from there it was like, hey, I'm gonna get my Hopwood issued laptop, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bust out GTA San Andreas. And that game was the one that stuck out with me. And like you said, how you love FPS, I love also that as well. On top of just a little bit of dynamic and storytelling gameplay. And that's where San Andreas, guys, if you haven't played that, please play it, whether it be the original or the remaster, don't matter. Whatever you feel. If you're into the graphics, go for the remastered. If you're into the where it all started, that's something you can also look into. Look into the original. I can literally find like a website and it has the ROM for the original game. But I'm afraid that if I'm go back into it, I might be distracted from making your episodes, guys. So just an FYI, I'm holding back because I know where to find it. It's just more of like, do I wanna bust myself thinking, hey, I wanna try and go into this because it's really long gameplay. Like the story driven analysis and the story driven mode of the game is just like there's so much happening at that point. So GTA is really one of those games where like it has a lot of funny ass features. You get to bust your tank out and then blow shit up, but there's also the story if you want to progress further.
Easter eggs, those kinds of things. I mean, they have their own wiki page, so like
exactly. Yeah, and I always did this thing as well where the cheat codes, there's always that it doesn't matter what game, guys. If you literally go before 2010, the game's gonna have cheat codes. It's gonna have those unlimited ammo. I've seen unlimited invincibility at one point in Modern Warfare. In San Andreas I've seen as well, where I activated like a tank cheat and a flying car cheat. So I used the propulsion from the turret to help me fly into the air, and it was ridiculous because I was like thinking, the reason why I did that is because when I got that 6-star rating, I used the tank to hit the fighter jet mid-air and then you know what happens there, right? And you get those moments and you get those memes, but really literally I sometimes makes me tear up, and sometimes as well I just want to get back into it, right? And hey, my friend, just want to ask you as well, do you think other people should get into this? They should get into gaming at some point in their lives?
Like if that's what they want, try and experience that, that's completely up to them, because like with gaming, right, like with many other I get to some hobbies, there has to be a healthy mix between, gaming and reality, because you can't focus too much on gaming, obviously, because if you have other responsibilities or if you have like social life or like different kinds of like friend groups, right, then you have to make time for them as well. That we've seen people who are making gaming extremes and it's really turn out good, right? But at the same time, like there's a misconception that if you're a gamer, you're which is completely untrue, because like a lot of people who I guess in the States or other Western countries they would consider them like jocks or whatever they call them. Here they're actually pretty much into games as well. Like once they're done on the basketball court or the soccer field, they'll come in and like start playing with like the people indoors, start playing their games. So gaming is not for everyone, but as Tim said, we do encourage you to at least try it, and you can find something you like, because like I said, the gaming, just the gaming universe is like very infinite. You know, there's always something for everyone. Even for me, a person who like is not really an avid gamer, I still manage to find things that I actually like, and I think actually dedicate some time to, like a Roblox Studio or Grand Theft Auto. And going back to the cheat modes, GTA 5 especially, I use a lot of cheat modes. But what I like is I forgot. What I try to do is like I always try to infiltrate like the military bases.
You did that?
Like, was it an attack helicopter or the fast cars or flaming bullet? It's those kinds of things that really, I guess, make the gaming world so unique, because there you can actually channel, like, I guess, your imagination and make it happen. Not exactly, for real, but at least like in this world, you can actually make your imagination or your whatever you think happen.
Exactly, right? And there's really no limitation. It's like, of course, gaming may not be for everyone, but it is capable of anything. And so that's what I feel, when it comes down to the gaming community. It's just so, of course, there's those moments where it gets toxic, and it's just the thrill of it, and I'm not gonna bust anyone out. I'm not gonna call anyone out there for that. We've all been a part of that, where especially when you get into like competitive gameplay. And I've seen people where it's just so crazy sometimes. But guys, if you ever feel that, don't trash your system, right? Don't bust your $1,000 monitor. Don't bust your $1,000 iPhone, all because of something as simple as that. Because everything is tied to those kind of things. And if you really devoted your time, I mean, if you bought like a game for your phone or any device, chances are that you put a lot of time into making sure that device is functional. But I'm not gonna bust it just because of PUBG or Fortnite or whatever, right? There's time to chill pill on that, right? So hey guys, before we get into like our final thoughts, I'm gonna take a brief intermission just because I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Zoom's gonna kick us out again. So in the meantime, we're just gonna play something over on the radio real quick. For you guys, and then we'll come right back in, and then we'll wrap this up, right?
Right.
All right, guys. So we are back. So hopefully that intermission was just okay. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it as well. That Zoom is what it is. Zoom imposes this 40-minute time limit, and it sometimes we just work around it, right? We felt that before, and I don't know why it's happening now. But hey, my man, you're back by any chance?
Right, yeah, I'm back.
Okay, just checking real quick.
Right.
Yeah,
Alright.
your name changed again. What the heck? Okay, we gotta fix that.
Okay,
Oh,
right.
we'll fix that, Mr.
It's my
Kamla.
pseudonym.
Like I said, guys, history buff. That's why like I said, I was so worried we were hacked at one point. But anyway, hey, let's just wrap it up real quick. So, we probably talked a lot about a lot of things, guys, and it's just that there's just so many memories we can connect with gaming, and it's just that wonderful medium that any person can get into. So just to give our brief thoughts. So here's my thoughts about gaming, just real quick, and then I'm just gonna ask you about your thoughts, my friend. You don't mind? All right. So my thoughts on gaming is that when it comes down to finding something that a hobby or something just to get rid of the stress, gaming is just one out of those many mediums, right? It's one of those places where you can actually get into it. You can make many memories out of it. You can play different kinds of genres. You can also find those exclusive content, DLCs. You can also find those characters that you love, the plot, the setting, the time, the theme, and there will be a game, I feel, for every single person out there in the world. It don't matter who you are, and it don't matter where you came from, and you'll find something. It doesn't matter if you choose it because of the place, the language, the genre. It doesn't matter, because really when it comes down to gaming, there's no limitation. And like Jason said, he said there that really it may not be for everyone, but it will be capable of anything. Gaming is limitless as much as a song, the songs that we have, the films that we play, the times where you spend with your friends and family, those are very limitless. And that's just what I wanted to share real quick, right? So what do you have on your end, man, before we sign off real quick?
Because, it's basically just reiterating what you said, right? Like, gaming, it may not be for everyone, but, gaming is limitless, or unlimited, basically. You can let your imaginations run wild. There's something for everybody. If you do decide to get into gaming, definitely you'll find something that you like. And gaming too, again, is a good source of like a stress reliever, because again, going back to that whole being in the zone, when you're really focused on something that you like or something that you're so passionate about, that passion can really, I guess, outweigh the negatives that are going on in your life, or can really reduce the stress that other things are causing. But at the same time, with gaming, you have to be responsible, not like with drinking, right? You can't do too much of it, because you have other things in life you have to do, or other things that you have obligations toward.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I've seen especially when it comes to young, people these days, the avid gamer, just you need to spend more time with your kids, those kind of stuff. So, gaming, like I said again, it's a great thing to get into, but it's also something that has to be used responsibly.
Exactly.
Because you're bound to spend money on equipment or things like that, and too, it's when you're in the gaming world, you're kind of in your own kind of mindset, and sometimes how you mentioned, right, how you have those moments where you do kind of rage and stuff like that. It's you want to destroy stuff, but it's now those kinds of moments that you have to really put lid on, because those can be self-destructive.
Exactly. You gotta be very careful. And guys, like I said, don't bust your iPhone, don't bust your PS5 or Xbox One because you lost a match at Fortnite or PUBG or any of those games. I'm only referencing those games because that's where we get most of the compilations from. Not gonna lie, guys, just saying that's where the rage is at. And it's just so not just so funny, but it's also just be wary with what you have, because like I said, you're not gonna, unless you're really good at repairing, you're not gonna repair that case once it's broken, right? The casing, you're not gonna be able to repair that, right? So just an FYI. And guys, again, you'll find that gaming touches every generation, and it don't matter where the person came from, and it don't matter what age they are. It's really just something out there for the world to enjoy, and the fact that it's still here and there's more now, there's more content now than ever. You know, like Jason and I, we were doing, you know, just reminiscing on things, and you know, it's just amazing as well. Again, if you want to get down to it, go for it, and just know that there's gonna be something, anything that you'll find in the gaming world that you'll get used to, whether it be the game itself or the community built around it, right? I think that's really important. And I know you guys are probably thinking, hey, Mr. T, if I could have discussed this myself, why do you need other input? And then I said myself, because this is something you get to appreciate with other people, like literally with the homies, or in this case, the homie. I'm gonna put the others' icons in later, just because I think their schedule got busy. But you know, it is what it is, right? Yeah, it is what it is. And you know, guys, that's why I said, you know, even though I do podcasts, and if things don't go according to plan, again, we always work around things, right? It ain't gonna stop. And guys, just to let you know, I got a bunch of content out ready for you guys, and just to let you guys know that there will always be, like I said, I got like 6 homies. Surely one is in the fray, right? And so they get to come on when they can, and I respect their time as much as they respect mine, right? But speaking of that as well, I think that wraps it up for this episode of Convos. You know, thank you, my man, for being over here.
It's a pleasure, man. It's always a pleasure.
I think this was one of those more relatable topics, you know, and it's just something that all the homies can really get into, and also, or in this case, a homie. But like I said, I got their icons down. I'm gonna get them ready. But it was pretty good. Like I said, I didn't know so much that you were getting into things, especially when you mentioned Roblox. I was thinking, like, what's there at the moment that really would catch on to this person, you know? And I was thinking, oh, the map making, of course.
Because like even me, like I was kind of like, I was stuck, because I've heard of Roblox before, right? I feel like because I was younger, it was just like, why the sudden like resurgence in the game?
Yeah,
I guess
right?
maybe people are that. I guess they really want to reminisce. I guess I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so, like I said, there's just gonna be a resurgence of things. Many games are being remastered and remade, and it's just so cool. And now you guys, whether you're an older generation or new gen, you get to enjoy that, right? I think with that being said, guys, you know, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks to my homie Jason, for making it over here, for taking the time. And, you know, shout out as well to the rest of the homies who are out there doing their things in the world. You know, just from us over here. Hopefully you guys get to join in later on. Well, it doesn't take some time, guys. We're on opposite ends of the world, so there's that we gotta consider.
Night here, so instead of night here, so they're probably either asleep or they're doing nighthawk activities.
I think they're nighthawks, guys. These guys also, the homies as well, they tend to be up at night, and it's not always sometimes in the house. It's just the truth. But yeah. All right, guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Now we're officially gonna sign off. Thank you, my man, for being over here. Thanks to my homie Jason. Again, DM his things over there in the description. Guys, if you have anything you want to say, please comment down below. Please also DM me or PM me or email me. I don't care what the heck you're gonna do to me. But if you guys got any other things you want to ask for myself, Jason, and the other homies, I'm gonna leave them as well in the description. Alright? So much love, everyone. This is Mr. T, and this is my man Jason signing off. Much love, everyone, and we'll see you at the next episode, alright? Alright, peace out, man.
Peace.